Last night on NBC5 News, we showed you that 9 teachers in Oregon have lost their licenses for sexual misconduct in just the last year.
Here locally, 2 teachers are under fire for allegations of sexual abuse toward children in their care. But it's not all bad news. NBC5's Natalie Weber has more.
While it may seem like these cases are cropping up more and more on a national level, Oregon is one of the top states in the nation to report and act on these types of allegations and crimes.
People can't engage in misconduct here, and we're not going to hear about it.
Victoria Chamberlain, executive director of the Oregon Teacher Standards and Practices Commission, takes allegations of sexual misconduct in the classroom seriously. Her department issues teaching licenses to new teachers and transfers from other states.
We see people with fairly serious convictions occasionally who apply. I don't know why they think we aren't going to find that out.
That's why she says the commission does an extensive background check process, including criminal history checks.
Not only do we do the fingerprint background check, but if someone comes in from out of state, we do Google checks.
Any way we can find any information on them to be sure they're safe to be around kids.
The commission also investigates any reported misconduct. Elizabeth Keller, Director of Licensure and Professional Practices, oversees the investigations.
When you find a teacher texting students at 1 o'clock in the morning, that's probably not okay, or on phone calls with them. And now the cell phone carriers can give us records that show the dates and times of those. That's pretty good evidence to take to the commission that maybe there was a boundary issue here with this teacher and that student.
Keller gives her team's conclusion to Chamberlain, who suggests a consequence to the commission.
I may recommend they dismiss the case, and they may disagree with me. And then at the time they're considering the report, they decide what the sanction should be.
The commission, made up of 17 educators from across the state, all actively working in schools, meets 4 times a year to consider these cases. If the misconduct warrants a revocation, the commission sends their decision to the National Association of State Directors of Teacher Education and Certification, a nonprofit national database that tracks teachers whose licenses have been revoked. A study done by USA Today found that 1,400 cases across the country in which a teacher lost their license were not reported to the national database. That same study gave Oregon an A in running background checks and mandatory reporting laws.
I think it's just a sense of responsibility.
The Oregon Teacher Standards and Practices Commission makes all of their investigations available to the public online. We'll post a link to their website on ours, KOBI5.com. We'll also post a link to the USA Today study, which covers in detail how each state runs background checks on prospective and transferring teachers. In studio, Natalie Weber, NBC5 News.